Peace be upon you, twin flames. Salam alaikum. I've decided to divide this video into 3 parts. First, we shall talk about challenges that you guys face as twin and how to win against those odds. Second part, I'm going to give you practical examples from my own journey. And final part are messages for you that I channeled for you. And they're basically for those who are meant to hear them. To receive them, we'll do so. So let's start with part 1. I touched the subject of devil before, and you will see many readers constantly will present the cards with the devil. So I will press on that subject once again because I cannot emphasize enough on how important is constant fight against evil on this journey, on this twin flame journey to reunite with your twin. Today I want us to talk about something called the spiritual nexus. As I mentioned in previous video, I was watching charms these days, and so the spiritual nexus is described as point of incredible energy equidistant from the 5 points of natural elements such as earth, fire, wood, water, and metal. So the merging point where energies of all these elements meet is called spiritual nexus. Now we can compare these to twin flames. When it comes to twin flames, as you can all guess, that nexus, the same kind of nexus, would be the merging point of energy of the twin flame union. Furthermore, spiritual nexus is described as power that can be swayed either way, meaning that it could be a force of undeniable good or a force of undeniable evil. So in its pure form, a nexus is energy source that whirls as wildly as a tornado. Even though it's summoned by good and its source is good, evil can very likely attempt to steal that force. And because it's basically a symbolic seat of power, evil will try to gain control of twin flame nexus on many occasions. So what that means to you as a twin flame? It means literally the devil wants your soul. So it can attack your twin by trying to drag them to a dark side before reunion and sort of make spiritual prenuptial agreement with your twin, which of course it is you that you must ward off, fight off, and use light war against. But more details I will share with you on that soon. Evil will try to steal the nexus point of energy by destroying your, the other way. I want to say now, the other way, not attacking your twin, but attacking you the way by the way of destroying your fate. So for that, he will use either your actual twin or someone who vibrates almost as your twin and then play with them in order to play tricks on you. So how does that look in a 3D? It looks quite like this. So I'm going to give you a practical example. I have manifested twin who channels my organic twin. For those who haven't figured that out yet, as to prepare me for the reunion in 4 and 5D and higher, and to do some more purging and chakra balancing before the actual merge. But at the same time, as I said, devil or the dark side will interfere and work against me through this manifested twin. So first, he traps me into most amazing, most deep and sweetest ways of love expression. I know you think I could avoid that or I would know it's a trap, but trust me, It's all like puppies and babies and beautiful things and spiritual sharing and sweetness, and none of you would have refused. So after he lures me like a fish, on a, you know, I I'm not a fisherman, so I don't know how to, you know what I mean. And then once I'm vibrating high and I'm like super happy, and then he does something of a kind to take that energy from me completely, as in draining me literally. Day later, an explanation pops up, and an expiation comes from my manifested twin, and I have no other choice but to forgive him. As it turns out to be that the disappointing part was just an illusion which simply sucked my energy out. But before I give you like latest example, I will want to go back to the charmed ones again, because it's obvious that twin flames are quite similar to those so-called witches, good witches, because we grow certain light within and spiritual power of energy of twins. And so just like them, when those warlocks come to steal their power away of them, likewise the twin flames, we face many dark energies sometimes attacking us through people closest to us or closest to them, to our twins. I mentioned maybe some 5 videos ago, I mentioned that manifested twin has one sister who seems to have cooked up with some auntie of theirs to have my twin put under separation spell. At the same time, this same sister has two very young kids, and both of them have been disturbing me quite a lot and disrupting the communication between me and my manifested twin flame. I'm going to post their picture right now, and so you guys can, if you are good energy readers, you can see maybe the aura of these kids, and let me know in comments what you think. So a week ago, he went back to his hometown again, and only days before, I had a sign of the word sunrise downloaded. I don't know if you remember when I had seen the license plates, and also there was a reading by the one of the energy readers that had a card sunrise show up. So the morning he woke up in his childhood bed, he woke up and he called me, and he turned on a video camera, and as you can see on this screenshot, he walked out to a majestic field of land of Bengal, and he was sharing with me the experience of sunrise. I was astonished, and I knew that I had the vision of sunrise just before that. I didn't tell him anything, but he said that moment, he said, "I love you so much. I really do." And so that morning, his oldest sister arrived as soon as she heard that he was visiting, and she dragged her children with her to be with their youngest uncle, which is my manifested twin. Of course, I was not aware of their arrival until 2 days later when I put things together. So, however, after such splendid sunrise, my manifested twin fails to contact me for 10 straight hours, which is not normal. It's normal for some people, but not for him, who calls me or texts me at least 6 times during the day, regardless of our time difference. So, of course, I got upset, not knowing what's wrong. And when I finally reached him and he started apologizing, I heard his sister's voice calling from the house for some made up assistance, and he literally abruptly ends my telephone call without even proper words. Now, to skip the next day of drama and fight and what we went through, here comes 48 hours later, and he's sorry. He realized how much he has hurt me, and now he's sweet and gentle and is trying to talk to me on the phone. But suddenly I hear the 3-year-old niece arguing, screaming, and arguing with her mother in their family kitchen. I can hear over the phone. He explains that his little niece wants something to be her way, but then he says to me, "Oh, I love those two kids. They are my life." Now, Needless to say, how this sounds to me, that he's so blinded he cannot see these kids are not regular, and that I myself adore kids too, but I love sweet and innocent and gentle and kind kids, not screaming brats who I've never heard do nothing nice so far. So I ignore his statement and I change the subject on us and talking about our future together and our present. And he was becoming soft and romantic when suddenly little girl's brother, he starts pretending that he's crying. He comes into his room and he crawls into his bed. And so, as he tries to break up our talk with spoiled demands from his uncle, I start reciting invocation prayer that protects against evil, which I will recite for you guys at the end of this clip as my gift of distant healing to you and to your twins. But as soon as I started reciting, the kid became instantly quiet, and my twin said, "Oh, he just fell asleep right here on my bed." Okay, so there goes our intimate conversation down the drain. So I figure out, I bid my manifested twin good night. So I'm alone and I'm starting thinking, how can I explain to him or to any of you, my viewers, that I really do love children, but that there's something terribly wrong with these two. If you guys could hear them, maybe you could understand more. So I remember Quran, and I remember chapter 17 and verse 64, which says that some people do share children with devil. So here's the translation of that part of the Quran, which was basically conversation between God, the creator, and the devil during his expulsion from higher dimensional level that we call heaven. You all know story about Adam and Eve, of course. So God says in verse 63, he said, "Be gone, whoever of them follows you, hell is yours, and there's reward, an ample reward. And you may seduce whomever of them you can with your voice, and rally and your infantry, and share with them in their wealth and in their children, and make false promises to them. But what Satan promises them is nothing but delusion. As for my honest devotees, you shall have no authority over them. Your Lord is their adequate guardian." So you guys can see, I don't have to describe to you that this verse literally describes what we call the devil offspring, the offspring of devil. So I asked for divine guidance what to do about this, how to react when they are around my manifested twin, and most of all, why, if my twin is religious praying man, why would his sister have such children from a dark side? And during my sleep, it dawned on me, people who play with spell casting, they must have to pledge something to the dark side, and most likely it's a sort of a spiritual contract of some sort, I guess, so that in exchange for messing with black magic, their children get to be born evil, or to better describe, they're born hollow, empty, I guess, without light inside. So they're empty, which is perfect for channeling of all sorts of evil entities. So before I even had time to prepare, I was presented with opportunity to test if I was right about this, or if I was just accusing innocent little babies and their poor mother, who is maybe a good believer. So I have an idea. Next day, my twin called me at early dawn, and he said he woke up for prayer, and after that, idea came to me to ask him next time when he calls me, to ask him if that little boy who crashed on his bed night before, did he pray with him. So my twin called me again very late that morning, like almost noon basically, his time, and I asked him, did he sleep late? And he says no. He said he prayed, and that was like 4:30 in the morning, and he said he hasn't slept after that because the kids screamed constantly the whole morning. I mean, those were his words, and that he was up busy with them. So as he's saying this, the little girl starts walking in his room again to interrupt him again. And as her annoying little spoiled baby talks, she calls her uncle mommy, 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 because in Bangla, mama means uncle, but the way she calls him, it's so fiend. It's not very, it just doesn't sound realistic. So, anyways, he says to me, "Oh, isn't she sweet? She wants to talk. Do you want to talk to her?" So I say, "Okay, put her on the phone," and he does. So I say, "Okay, sweetie, let me teach you a little prayer." And as soon as I started, she runs out of his lap and back to kitchen to her mommy. So I hear her screaming her lungs out as if it was like bloody murder. And he says, "Maybe I should go to kitchen see what she wants." And I'm almost ready to hang up on him, of course, but that little offspring sends her brother to further interrupt the uncle, and my twin says, "Hey, he wants to talk to you." So I said, "Okay, put him on the phone." So guys, bear in mind that this is a 7-year-old boy who knows only Bangla language. And so now he starts a little fiend baby talk to me, and I call his name really gently and kindly, and I said in English, "Did you pray with your uncle this morning?" And before my twin even opened his mouth to translate to this boy, the boy screams back at me with one big steady English, "No." I can't believe what I just heard, so I repeat, hoping my twin will realize what's going on. So I say, "No, you did not pray. Why not? You're a big boy." And he repeats even more adamantly another "no." And so, so I say, "Well, you're gonna have to learn to pray with Uncle. Otherwise, no more sleeping in his bed because Uncle is praying guy." And so and this so-called little Bengali boy who just started first grade obviously plainly understood my English perfectly as he yelled for the third time at me, "No," and he hurled the phone to his uncle and ran out to join his sister in the kitchen. So I can hear them both screaming, and I asked my twin, "Does he really not never prays yet?" And for you guys who are listening, who are Muslim out there, you know that most of our kids love to learn how to pray much earlier than age 7. So I kind of got my answer right there, even though my twin was giving him excuses and saying he will try to teach him. But most clearly, the picture I could draw is that if the mother was a praying lady, if the mother was really praying her daily prayers as she's supposed to, then it's quite likely that a 7-year-old boy would have known how to pray by now. And this is why I'm posting these pictures of the cute little Muslim babies, because I've seen so many little boys in the mosque who just love to pray next to their moms. And then I try to explain to my manifested twin that there is a little boy who is only 4 years old right now, and he's just so adorable. And even he now started praying with his father in the main mosque. And I just saw him on Friday, and so I was trying to tell him to point out to him, as someone who is so religious and who prays 5 times a day himself, that something is off with his little nephew and a niece. Of course, I cannot tell him that directly, but then at the same time he told me, how he was carrying them from the pond to the house, both of them in his arms. And I just get goosebumps thinking, if they contain energy that is dark, then my twin flame, my manifested twin flame, is must be filled with this negative energy now. And so how can he survive all that attack, which comes through the form that physically looks so, you know well, not to me, because I can see auras like this baby in this picture that we are looking at right now is innocent and cute and sweet, but those two, as you saw in the previous video, are not. And so how do I describe him? That there's children of light and there's children of darkness. Like in these pictures I see children of light, and most of children are children of light, but devil is sneaky. He can come in any form. So I was trying to, well, if I cannot explain to him, I'm trying to fight it. So we have to become warriors of light. And this is the theme that's been coming out through these lately, through the readings. A lot of guys are coming up with the word battle, light warriors, light war. We have to learn how to implement the light that we already have and fight it against evil, even if we have to just ignore it. And now I'm going to share with you what was downloaded to me from the Bible. It's in the book of John 3:21, and it says, "But whoever practices the truth comes into the light, so that it may be clearly seen that what he has done has been accomplished in God." Now I'm going to do the prayer that I promised you, which is chapter 2 of the Quran and verse 255, which is protection from evil. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahu la ilaha illahu al-hayyul qayyum. لا تحزه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم. Amin. Now I want to share more messages with you. The message came from Universe for the twin flames. The first message is, we are born wise, we are born complete. And there has been a lot of also wisdom going on in the past 2 weeks. A lot of readers are mentioning wisdom. I also never would have thought. I started wearing a necklace with an owl on it just 2 weeks ago. I don't know, I just had a premonition I should wear that, and I put it on, and then I heard all those messages from the readers talking about wisdom. So again, we are born wise, we are born complete. There's a message in that. Now also I want you to go find a movie called Catch and Release, as in fish, catch and release. It's something you have to see about twin flames. And then next message for you out there who will recognize it is, your strength is your own belief. Next one is the song. You have to find a song. Go Google lyrics for the song called Undercover Angel. Go YouTube and watch the song by U2 called One. And also White Flag by Dido, D-I-D-O, White Flag. And in the next episode, I'm going to talk about stalking in the twin flame journey. Not us being stalkers, but usually the runners, which you would be surprised, is the runners who are stalkers. So we're going to get into that topic next time. Please, if you haven't already, subscribe. I've reached 500 subscribers. I'm super happy. That's really good for me. Now I know some may say that that's not really huge number. For me it is, because as I mentioned before, I find you guys to be my VIP. You are VIP, and so that's perfectly great number for me, and that's half of the 1,000. So thank you all for subscribing, and subscribe if you haven't already, and comment. I like the comments that you posted in my previous video. That was awesome. Thank you. I love you all, guys. Peace be upon you, and until the next video. See you soon. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you.